Yo, what is up, guys? This is RizzyPOW, and this is week 6 of the TBU. Today, we're going to be going up against a good friend of mine, Danica of the coach of the St. Louis Sableyes. He's been with us in the MPL beforehand. And yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. Make sure to go check him out. His links will be in the description below. But yeah, today we're going to be going up against him. We, of course, are the Phoenix Sunfloras, and this is a very important match when it comes to playoffs, so that is pretty cool. Yeah, and if you guys have not watched my team builder for him, make sure to go watch it in the description below. The link will be in the description below, or just look at the last video on the channel. It won't be difficult to find at all. But if you guys really want to be that like mean and everything and don't want to look at the team builder, I'll just briefly talk about the team that I have brought versus Dan real quickly. As you can see, this is actually we're going against the tag team of Dan and Danny. So Dan actually, his capture card, he sent it in to get fixed up or something, and King Bub actually is his puppet, and I guess they jumped into a call, I'm assuming, and they did this thing, and Dan and King Bub actually had the team, and Dan, both of them are Dan, so Danica, he just probably told him like, yo, choose this move, and choose that move, and that, and yeah, that was a great, representation of what happened between the Dans. But yeah, so just looking at the team, this is a pretty cool matchup. Abomasnow Rex's team, guys. Abomasnow Rex it. Just looking at this, like, I'll talk about the sets and everything. What else is good? Latios, he has no switching for a Draco, no, like, nothing, no resistance. Also Lucario, he didn't bring Regirock or anything, so Banded E-Speed might be able to clean up at some point. We need to get rid of stuff like Hitmontop. Scarf Nidoqueen, his only poison resist is Quagsire, which should not be too difficult to get rid of. And like, I can just, yeah, Sludge Wave and even Ice Beam could potentially clean up at some point because he has those 3 mons that are super weak to Ice right over there. And Hitmontop is kind of frail, so not frail, but it's not going to appreciate an Ice Beam unless it's Assault Vest. If it's like low at health, like once it gets to 30-40%, it'll be able to kill it. So there's that. Plus it can be a surprise scarf for first team that he's probably not going to expect. Yeah, also Bandit, I have a Bandit Lucario, I have a Life Orb mixed Abomasnow. We got Blizzard, Giga Drain, Ice Shard, which is probably the most important move on it for this match. Giga Drain also and Blizzard can help break down stuff like Hitmontop and Quagsire, and I also have Earthquake on it in case he tries to switch in the Emboar on me, and I decided to predict that and be all like cunning and amazing. I don't know why I said cunning. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, and then Jirachi, probably going to be on my lead versus him. I really need Rocks up. Rachi was just a good lead for him. I thought he would bring Greninja. He didn't actually bring Greninja. He didn't bring Mega Audino. So since he did bring Mega Audino, it doesn't look like Snorlax is going to be that good, but it's still going to be pretty good. This is actually a curse, not curse Abomasnow. This is Abomasnow even get cursed. That'll actually be pretty cool. But this is a curse Snorlax with 3 attacks with the Chople Berry, with Gunk Shot for the Mega Audino, Seed Bomb for the Quagsire, and Return just to weaken everything to help put everything in range of Lucario. Bandit Lucario E-Speed pretty much. Then Jirachi is just like it's just special Jirachi Psychic, Flash Cannon, Rocks, and then U-Turn to get momentum. Rocks are very important in this match. I need to make sure to get them up. And this thing is Jirachi is probably the most expendable thing on my team besides Snorlax. Snorlax just doesn't do much since Mega Audino didn't come. I changed it last minute, not last minute, but I changed it. I ended up changing it from the original team because I was really weak to Mega Audino. Yeah, so I think this is it. I'm just gonna lead off with Jirachi. You want to try getting up the rocks, and it deals really well with his entire team except for Emboar. Just looking at his team, I'm expecting Emboar to be Scarfed, and it's probably gonna be his win con this match, so I didn't necessarily expect him to lead off with it, but we'll see what happens. Let's just get right into the battle. I should probably not say that. People are gonna hate me. I don't know. Nobody probably saw the reference. I don't know, man. This is already turning out to be a terrible commentary. But yeah, I decided to lead off with my Jirachi right over here. So, he's going to lead off with the Emboar, the one thing I did not want him to lead off with. So I'm just going to go in my Latios, which can deal with it pretty well. We're going to see what kind of variant he is. He's actually a Scarf variant, it seems. He might be Expert Bella or something. And he gets the burn, which really sucks. Now, I'm going to have to Mega Evolve right here, and I'm pretty sure this might have been a roll. I'm not 100% sure. Was pretty sure I could live with the added bulk that Mega Latios gets. I could be able to live a Flare Blitz right here, and I'm actually just going to go for a Roost. I should be able to live it pretty easily, but the burn on this Mega Latios sucked, because this is going to help him put me in range of certain moves from this Emboar and stuff like that later in the game. We'll see. But yeah, I get back to full health, and now I'm at a good amount of health. I know a Flare Blitz is probably not going to be able to kill me. I gain like 5 HP from that. I'm just going to drop a Draco Meteor in case he does want to switch out, which I kind of expected. I'm going to pretty much be able to get a kill right here. So he's going to go out into Quagsire. And Quagsire is going to be taking a ton of damage. And that is really good for me. So now I was debating on either going for Sub or Roost. Sub, I could sub up on this Quagsire so he couldn't Toxic. Well, he couldn't Toxic anyway because I got burned. But, yeah, he didn't really have any switching. That's why he switched in Quagsire, I'm assuming, because literally nothing could have taken it. But I'm going to end up going for the Roost. I was thinking about going for the Sub, but then if he switched out, then Burn would end up killing me if I did not Roost up later or something like that. So I ended up deciding Roost was probably a better play. He couldn't really touch me either way. And even if he did recover, Draco Meteor would have still killed, assuming that he is unaware Quagsire, because unaware ignores stat changes. Now right here, I'm going to take a Head Smash, and I decided this is the best thing to let it go. I could have switched in Jirachi right there, and I was very close to, but if I switch in Jirachi on a Flare Blitz, I was almost positive he's clicking Head Smash right there, but if I switch it, I literally lost the game because rocks are almost important, like super important. I didn't lose the game, but it was extremely important. So right here, I'm actually going to go to Jirachi, and since he did go for that smash, I knew I'd be able to go into Jirachi for free. Plus, Mega Latios is probably the best thing I could have stacked. I'm going to go for the rocks right here. I'm not sure why he switched in Hitmontop on Jirachi. I guess because he wanted to spin. He's gonna go for the Sucker Punch though, and I have the Cobra Berry, and even without the Cobra Berry, that would have literally done nothing. I'm gonna get a ton of damage off on this thing, and that is going to put him in really low. Right here, I'm going to go for the Flash Cannon because I cannot allow him to spin. If he spins, that is going to be terrible for me, so I need to keep these rocks up. If he goes for another Sucker Punch, that's really not going to be doing too much damage. Also, I sort of didn't expect him to go for another Sucker Punch in a row, although I did think that could have been his best play, to go for another Sucker Punch. But I kind of didn't expect it. And even if he did, I didn't mind taking the damage. That only really mean I was going to sack it off anyway to Emboar coming in because I don't have a switch into Emboar. Also, what that Head Smash did on that Mega Latios, it also put him in range of E-Speed from Lucario, which if I switch on to my Jirachi, it would have not put him in range. And there's no reason to play aggressively at that point and switch into Jirachi that early in the game. So I'm just going to revenge kill him with Lucario. That is really nice. I got rocks up, and they are here to stay since his Hitmontop died. And now right here, he's going to go out into his Honchkrow, which is perfect. Which is not perfect, but I'm just going to sack off Snorlax because it has a huge HP stat, and I can sack it off to the Brave Bird. If he goes for Night Slash, then he's not going to be able to 2-KO me, even if he's banded. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong about that. I don't think he could. He couldn't. We actually found out right here that he is banded, and he's going to be taking all this Life Orb, this Recoil, which is actually going to put him in range of Lucario's E-Speed, which is why I was okay with letting Snorlax go down. As I said, Snorlax and Jirachi were super expendable. I really did not need them for the team that he brought. Now he does get Moxie, but that's fine because now he's in range of E-Speed from Lucario, so I'm fine. Nothing is going to necessarily appreciate it since rocks are up. His Hitmontop is gone, so his main switch into an E-Speed is completely gone. And Quagsire is so low, so it's fine with me. Salamence could potentially switch in. I was thinking that he might do that. I wasn't sure if he was like a defensive Salamence or if he was like a DD Salamence. I was expecting either one of them. Even potentially Scarf could be coming. Really expecting him to be Intimidate, Moxie also made sense. He was Moxie, as you see. He didn't have Intimidate, as I'm just going to go for another E-Speed to put him in range of other attacks and stuff. And pretty much at this point, I did win the game with Scarf, Ice Beam, my Nidoqueen, because all he has left is Salamence, Honchkrow, which I don't die to a Sucker Punch unless he's at +1. Yeah, and then his last one is Thunderous D. So I literally just, and since rocks are up, I just win with Nidoqueen at this point. But I'm going to switch out into a Abomasnow right here. His Earthquake does not kill me, so I'm just going to save it so I can try getting the 3-0 potentially. But I know for a fact I'm at least going to get a 2-0 as long as I play this well, because I have a Scarf Nidoqueen in the back. I'm going to switch into Abomasnow right here, trying to get at least 1 kill, because I get a kill right here with Abomasnow with Ice Shard, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna get that kill right over there, and that Salamence is going to die. That Salamence is dead. It is gone. It is pretty damn cool. And right here, he's gonna go into Honchkrow, and he went for a Sucker Punch right here, but I actually outsped. He actually was max HP, max attack Honchkrow. He had no speed on it. I don't know exactly if he didn't. He told me he didn't have any speed. I don't know his team because he didn't upload the team builder, but yeah, I'm not sure why it was in max speed versus me, but I'm gonna take it. I got the free kill. If he didn't do that, it would have actually been a 1-0, I think. Now he's gonna go out into this. Now it's a roll for me to kill him with Ice Shard, so I'm actually gonna save, make sure to get the 3-0, because I don't want to risk the roll. I need to get a 3-0 because the differential is very important at this point. In case I do lose one of my next matches, I need a differential really badly. So I'm just gonna go into Nidoqueen. I know I can live any one hit, and I can kill with an Ice Beam because I am Scarf. So that is pretty damn cool with me, and his Thunderous is gone. So let's talk about that match a little bit. It was a very short match. We both bought very hyper offensive team. Well, actually, he didn't necessarily bring hyper offense. He brought pretty hyper offensive, I'd say, though. Brought a weird team on it. Like, he brought 2 kind of Pokemons like Quagsire, but it was more offensive. Both of us had really offensive teams, essentially. Yeah, that was actually a very good game, Dan. Good game, Dan. That was honest. That was a pretty fun game. I enjoyed that a lot. Now the thing is that if he did outspeed with if he did outspeed with that Honchkrow on my Abomasnow and kill me off with a Sucker Punch, I would have actually gone down to a 1-0. Because what I would have had to do is I would have to stack off Abomasnow would die, then I would have to go out into Lucario, and I had to click E-Speed. What E-Speed did was, he had to stack Honchkrow off because he died to Rocks, and then I would have died to Hail, so then I would have to clean up with the Nidoqueen, which would have gone down to 1-0. I'm really happy that he did not have the speed. Although if he did have the speed, he wouldn't have had the HP, and I don't know if he would still be alive if he didn't have the HP. I also could notice that he was had a lot of HP investment, because when he did kill my Snorlax, that really did not do that much in recoil. So I was kind of wondering, that's kind of weird. I thought that was going to do more, but he was max HP, so that makes a lot of sense. Another thing, Abomasnow, our viewer pick, got 2 kills. No deaths. That is amazing. Abomasnow, you're amazing, but you're never coming to a match again. I'm sorry. It's over for you. You're going on the bench next week for something because you're bad. I'm sorry. But you got 2 kills, so it's pretty good. Another thing, we had something that proved this week. Salamence died, got 0 kills. And, life is good. Life is good. But now what this means for playoffs, we did win this match 3-0. And what this means is that we're in a pretty good position for playoffs. The playoffs were right now, we would actually make it. We're in the top 4 in the division, so we'd make it because 4 people in the division go. Now, there's one problem that we could still lose the next 2 matches. Even if we lose one of the next 2 matches, there's a chance that we could go to playoffs. Because of differential, so we need to make sure to have at least the best differential possible. Next week we actually go up against Mono, and then a week after that we go against King Bub, the other Dan. So we already wrecked one Dan, we're about to wreck the other Dan, which is fine with me. I'm okay with destroying the Dans. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Bub. And I'm just kidding, Dan, as well. This is actually a pretty good game, honestly. This is actually a pretty good game. It should have been a 1-0 if he did have speed and Honchkrow. So there's that. Also, if you're saying that after he killed me with Sucker Punch on the Abomastorm, I could not just go into Nidoqueen because of the Moxie boost, he would have actually killed me with Sucker Punch on my Nidoqueen. So I couldn't have done that. I would have lost the game if I did that because of the Moxie boost. Honchkrow is a very scary mon. I'm really glad I had an E-Speed user for it. Yeah, this is just overall a really good game. We have to win our next 2 weeks to ensure we get into playoffs. If we lose one of them, we could still make it, but it's going to be very difficult. Yeah, so next we're going to go against Mono from the GBA. Very difficult opponent. We've actually played him before in the March Madness tournament. We did win. That was actually a really good and close game that we did have in the March Madness tournament with him. Although I'm sure that the game with Mono this next week is actually, he's going to try a lot harder because, one, I'm sure he wants revenge because it was a really, really close game, and he did misplay a little bit in that game, he felt. I'm pretty sure he said, and I'm sure that he'll just try harder because that was a March Madness tournament where he had to build 4 teams within a couple of days, and he has a whole week to build 1 team. Actually, 2 teams because he's also in the GBA, but still, I'm sure he's going to have a much more well-established built team. But hopefully I'll have a better team built too. So we're going to see. That is going to be a fun game up against him. Hopefully we do not lose to him, because if we do, that's going to be sad. And he's like #1 in our division right now, so it's actually like probably the most stressful week. Not stressful, but like the most scariest match I'm going to have next week. Yeah, that's something to look forward to, and yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!